It says religious secrets, but we know what it is. Confided only to the initiated and not to ordinary mortals.
That's what I'm saying. That's two different people. That's the problem. That's the John the Baptist in Harlem?
Right.
Or, come on, brother, that makes sense.
And what does that word dedicate go back to? To initiate. To initiate.
That's beautiful. Yep. That's beautiful. Like y'all talking about John the Baptist in Harlem, what these scoffers are saying. Well, check this out. They were saying the same thing about Yahushua when the disciples where they were from.
Yeah.
You know, they weren't from good parts of Israel. They were that part they was living that was known as the slums.
I'm saying, so if John the Baptist was here, where would he be?
Right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He'll probably be out in the trailer in the woods, just like he was. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Just like with Elder Abba, with the wild honey and the locusts.
Yep.
You can't just hand that to Jake. You know what I'm saying? He even tried to hand it to the elders. Elder Yaquab and King Masha, he offered it to them. And they was like, no, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? But it's just certain things that you see spiritually. You know?
Right.
If you don't receive it, that's fine.
That's fine.
It don't matter.
No, it's not a...
Yeah, so what, we just gonna
make a
pack up?
video of it.
We gonna pack up and leave? No, go ahead, bro.
I got it. Hey, going to write what y'all saying. This is another definition. It says, of the Most High. The secret counsels which govern the Most High in dealing with righteousness, which are hidden from ungodly and wicked men,
That's
but
what I'm
plain
saying.
to the godly.
Scoff. Ooh. That's why you can't see John the Baptist in Harlem, dog.
But he's a bus driver. What's so great about Baloo?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We're supposed to believe he's a man of the Lord, but he's a bus driver.
Yeah, man.
So we can use that his own logic against where's
Yeah,
he
he
from?
probably eat McDonald's on his
Where's he
break.
from?
Yeah.
Mars? His ass is right here from
Fucking
Babylon,
Amazon.
just like us, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He just a
Great
scoffer.
point, man. Come
You
on.
say Habakkuk in Queens? Ooh.
Yeah.
Shut your ass up.
Well, he gonna live in he gonna live in Malibu or something like that.
Yeah.
You know they gonna be in the most lowly parts because they're lowly, humble men.
Malachi is Staten Island.
Come on, man.
Where they supposed to be at, man?
That's what I'm saying.
Right, you did have men of the Lord who had wealth,
Absolutely.
but come on, man. In these times, bro, the prophets are in Babylon. It says, rejoice. When Babylon falls, it says, rejoice, ye holy apostles and prophets. They here, man.
Yep, that's right.
He said, didn't the Yahushua say, bless you are poor now?
Absolutely.
You know? Come on, man.
Jake's stupid.
Can't beat that. Yeah.
Stupid.
Petty and childish, and they preach out of
Strife and envy.
vainglory.
Yep.
And malice, man.
Yep. A lot of malice.
And right, but what did we just read in 1 Peter? When you go to the second chapter, the first verse, it clearly tells you that these elect men are going to be not of that conversation.
Yep.
Not of that matter. They're going to have all that stuff that these men that we talking about out of them.
It's gonna be purged.
These men we talking about are full of maliciousness, full of envy, full of guile. You know? You know what I'm saying? But come on, man.
Damn devil.
They don't want to be reborn.
Nope.
They don't want to be humble.
That's right.
As soon as they're humble, they get to bucking up and saying stuff, man.
They don't want to be
That's
as
part of
those little children that we
Girl.
talk about.
They don't want the will of the Most High and His Son to go forth, man.
That's right, my brother.
Even if they get it.
That's what it is, man.
They hate the elect. They don't want
Yeah.
the elect to be risen
Exactly.
up. They
Brother-
want to be by themselves driving a bus,
Yep.
and America can keep going,
We
man.
just,
Hey,
driving the bus and eating potato chips.
Yeah, he gonna be standing there with a damn bow tie and getting a 50-year commemoration fucking speech because he retired from the bus
Yeah,
driving.
from driving the shit out this bus.
with an old Bible, man. Get out of here, man.
Shit out this bus.
well, it just boils down to the fact that they're not a part of the elect, man.
That's ultimately.
You know, they don't have the oil, they don't have the spirit in what you're speaking on.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So that and all of the attributes that you just named, that comes from lack of having that spirit, man. Malice, backbiting, talking down all the time. Nigga, every video you make is you talking down on GMS. You know what I'm saying? Or when a nigga want to pop up, he want to nitpick at a particular brother because he don't have that spirit, or they don't have that spirit, bro. They're not a part of the elect, you see.
That's right. And is the elect in this time going to be talking certain things about these men that's coming against them? Absolutely. Because when we read the account, back when the temple was being rebuilt, when Cyrus was king, we had to have a weapon on our side while we were rebuilding. You know, had to defend. So when people come up against us, absolutely we're going to have to come against them because we're going to have to defend the gospel.
Right.
The scriptures talk about that. Attend the faith. But these people aren't defending the gospel. They're speaking vain things. They're not feeding the flock. They're not feeding the sheep.
Yeah, and the brother Ariella made a beautiful point too. There's only one foundation to build on. That's the spirit of Yahweh.
That's right. Bro.
So these niggas, whatever perspective thing that they think that they building on, it's not in the spirit of Yahweh.
That's right.
They ultimately building to continue on in this world, man.
It's going to get destroyed with that fire. And every man's work is going to be tried by that fire that you're going into.
Beautiful.
So that work is going to be destroyed. There ain't going to be nothing left.
Con, brother. It's a great point.
Right. And verse 1 says, laying aside all malice, guile, and hypocrisy. So if your teachings have any malice, guile, and all that in it, it's not going nowhere.
That's right.
So you would behoove you to just preach the truth. But we all know the Most High got the Spirit on them to preach that BS. But I'm going to start back at verse 7, if that's you want to jump back to Peter.
Con, yeah, you can go to verse 7 afterward if you can go back to that Matthew 16. No, it's all good, brother. It's all good.
Verse 7, unto you, therefore, which believe he is precious, but unto them which be disobedient, the stone which the builders disallowed, the same is made the head of the corner.
And they disallowed it. You know, they tried to talk against him. You know, they talked mess about him. He was as a sheep kind of for to go to the slaughter.
He just
Crucified. That's part of that
Absolutely.
crucifixion or whatever. He was totally crossed out from the name. You got people that call themselves Israelites that don't really value the importance of calling on the name of Yahweh Shem Yahweh.
But that goes into what we're reading in Matthew the 16th chapter.
Yeah.
When he had asked Peter that question. You know, and he said, who am I? You know, the ones that crucified him didn't believe, but he said flesh and blood, it showed
Exactly.
you. I'm sorry, it didn't show you, but the Spirit of the Most High.
And they not spiritual.
That's right.
That's right, brother.
We can go back to that really quick.
Matthew 16, I'm going to start back at verse 17. And Yahushua answered and said unto him, blessed art thou, Simon Bar-Jonah, for flesh and blood hath not revealed it unto thee, but my Father which is in heaven. And I say unto thee that thou art Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it.
Upon this rock he shall build his church, which he showed that Peter, Cephas, was a stone, was a precious stone, and upon that stone he was going to rebuild his church, which goes through men, because we knew that Yahushua was going to send back up to heaven, but ultimately we know he is the body, and he's the chief cornerstone. So he set up men to do this. He set up men to be leaders. And when you go into that next part, he said he will give him the key. Read that part again, Baba Kishon.
Verse 18?
Yeah.
And I will also say unto thee that thou art Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. And I will give unto thee the keys of the kingdom of heaven.
I will give unto a man. I will give unto a man the keys to the kingdom of heaven.
A man with faults.
A man with faults. A man that had to be reborn as a child. A man.
Yep.
So people has to go to somebody in order to get somewhere.
Well, it's called the house of David, and we're going to receive the mercies of David.
Man.
Overall, that house is going to
Man.
receive that mercy that David received.
God.
Blessed is him who the Lord impart not sin.
That's right, brother. That's right. And it's the Spirit that you brought that up, because who was Yahushua talking to? Peter. And we know through the Spirit, if you can receive it, that's David. That's David, so it had to be set upon him. Yahushua knew what he was doing when he had made Peter the chief cornerstone. I'm sorry, Salakia, that rock to help to build the church, to establish the church. He knew why he gave him the keys, because ultimately we know that this is his house initially anyway.
That was his Father's will.
That's right, brother. That's right.
Verse 19 again. I will give unto thee the keys of the kingdom of heaven, and whatsoever thou shalt bind on earth shall be bound in heaven, and whatsoever thou shalt loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven. Keep going.
Yeah.
Then charged he his disciples that they should tell no man that he was Yahushua.
That's right. Not your family. Not all that. They ain't going to get it. These people ain't going to get it, man. They have to believe through the Spirit, which shows the Spirit of the Lord ain't dealing with everybody. If the Most High wanted everybody to believe, he would have told Peter and the disciples, tell the whole world who I am.
Mm-hmm.
No, man. He's only set up for certain people. And people just don't seem to get that. These scoffers don't even want to get this. The Most High is not for everybody. When they rebuilt the temple back then in time of Maccabees, what we just read, they didn't just get any priest to do it. They didn't get anybody to do it. They had to get blameless priests to help rebuild the sanctuary. You know? It was a reason why they chose those men. They were blameless. Go ahead.
Verse 21. And from that time forth began Yahushua to show unto his disciples how that he must go into Jerusalem and suffer many things of the elders and the chief priests and scribes and be killed.
That's good on that one. But ultimately, that's showing, that's part of that rebuilding, man. We got to go into these people, tell them who he is, tell them who the elect is, tell them who the Most High is, what they plan on doing, what the Most High plans on doing down here, what the elect's going to be doing, and that's rebuilding. Breaking down strongholds, tearing down this old BS, and rebuilding the new stuff.
That's right.
And also being devout while doing it, delighting in this, being sincere about it, being circumspect, all levels of the righteous spectrum. That's what the elect's going to be doing. That's what he told Peter to do. That's what he told all the disciples to do.
That's right, brother.
Finish that work.
To be able to finish that work. Absolutely. Yeah, and I know you had a priest some people wait. That's it on that, brother, for water. Come. Yeah, and then we're going to go to that one there.
This is Amos 9 and 11. It says, in that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen,
You can break it down.
and close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old.
Hey, this point right here is where everybody's trying to get away from.
Mm-hmm.
They trying to come up some other way. They don't want to talk about the spiritual temple. They don't want to talk about the house of David. They don't want to talk about the 144.
Yeah.
They don't want to talk about
That's
none
right.
of that.
It's just them and Yahushua.
Yeah,
That's it.
just it. That's
That's it.
You know?
You sit in the rooms, you and Yahushua, and that's
Yeah.
it. And then the kingdom gonna come.
Eating potato chips.
Come on, man. Give me that, man.
Tripping. Man, yeah, they don't want to do the work, go out in the highways and byways,
Yeah.
none of that. They don't do what the Lord told them. They just feel like everything.
Even if they do,
Yeah.
they're not talking about that.
Right,
That's an important part of the Bible, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you can't get to the kingdom without this happening.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
So you got men on the highways and the byways, and they got the same attitude, just us and Yahushua.
Con.
What are you doing? You just building by yourself, or
Yeah, David was a man after the Most High's own heart, so he made that promise.
That's right,
That's
brother.
gonna have to be fulfilled, man. He gonna raise the house of David back up,
Mm-hmm.
and that's that time we coming into, man.
Con.
So are they not here? Do you believe that they're here?
Right.
I mean, what else you waiting on, man? You gonna have to be a servant to who you
Yeah.
feel is the elect, man.
But we
You
know the
don't
order.
work, you don't eat.
We know the order. We know that the house of David ultimately is under the head of Yahweh Shah.
That's
Yahweh,
right.
why Yahweh Shah, man?
Con.
You know? That's
Is there any more now?
I'm gonna read 12. So like
Come.
verse 12, it says that they may possess the remnant of Edom and of all the heathen which are called by my name, said the Lord that doeth this. So that's the hope and the faith that we got to live for too. If we finish the Most High's building, man.
That's right. That's right. When you devout yourself to something, when you're determined to do something, when you put that work and all that determination in what you're doing, when you receive the fruit of your doings, it's excellent. You appreciate it a whole lot more because you put that work involved in it.
Yep.
You know, you appreciate something that you've worked for. You love a lot more than something that was given to you. This kingdom, it's going to be given to us, but we have to work towards it.
Exactly.
We have to work. The elect, to receive that governing body, to be part of that governing body, the elect has to work for it. They got to suffer through it. Just like our Lord and Savior suffered. We got to finish this process of rebuilding.
Exactly.
And you're going to sweat. You're going to be tired. You're going to be sleepy. Your body might hurt. You're not going to be comfortable.
Right.
But ultimately, we know we're going to be comfortable ultimately at the end of the day when we receive our rest.
Might not get put to death.
Might even get put to death for it. Absolutely. God.
That salvation in the end, that's what we got to look forward to as far as part of the work. And Yahweh Shah, he's going to finish the work. He's
That's
the finisher
right.
of our faith.
Absolutely.
That's right.
You
That's
know what
beautiful.
I'm saying? So we just got to work until he get here.
God.
That's why it says in Zephaniah, wait ye upon me. So in the process of waiting, we working and building.
Mm-hmm.
We're just waiting on the finish of our faith to come and complete the deal.
That's right.
And then that's
Blessed.
going to turn over into a kingdom, man.
God.
You know?
That's right. That's right. Blessed is the servant who I shall find working when I come.
Exactly.
You know? And I'm going to end it off on this one in Maccabees.
This is First Maccabees 4 and 56. And so they kept the dedication of the altar 8 days.
And this is after we had read the process of them grabbing those blameless priests, building up the temple. All right? Salakia.
And offered burnt offerings with gladness.
With gladness.
Gladness.
Delighting in it. Being devout in it. Wanting to do it. Doing it willingly. They offered it up with gladness. With us putting our bodies as living sacrifices, we do it as gladness. Because we're doing something for a cause. And ultimately we know what the cause is. For this kingdom to come down here. We're setting up a standard through Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai.
That's right.
And we're doing this in gladness again. Go ahead, brother.
And sacrifice the sacrifice of deliverance and praise.
Come on, man. Come on. Isn't not the elect going to be doing that? The elect's going to be doing that. It ain't just going to be just about oh, this person offended me this way, so I'm going to do this video and place my whole sermon and my sermon tomorrow, my sermon next year, based on that. No, man.
Damn.
We putting our bodies as living sacrifices, and that means preaching this truth. Because we know people hate the truth. And the prophets and disciples died for preaching the truth. But they delighted in it. When they were persecuted for doing righteousness, what did they do? They were glad about it. They rejoiced.
That's right.
Yahweh Shai said, rejoice when men revile you. Blessed are you when men shall revile you. We're going to rejoice in that when we do these sacrifices. When you read the scriptures, it talks about the sacrifice of the Most High are of a contrite spirit.
Okay.
And that's the spirit we all got to come in. When those men built that temple, before they built that temple, they mourned. They wept. They were sad. They were distraught by what happened. They were of that broken spirit. But with that broken spirit, that made them way more determined to do this because they knew how it was going to look afterward and what they were going to receive. That's us, man.
That's right.
Go ahead, brother.
They decked also the forefront of the temple with crowns of gold and with shields and with the gates and the chambers. They renewed and hanged doors upon them.
Man, man, are we not tried as gold is tried in the fire? Don't he say in 2nd Ezra, the 8th chapter, out of the earth cometh much mold, but when you sift all that mold, you find a little bit of gold? Who is that gold? Out of these many men, it's a lot of dirt, but it's only a few speckles of gold when you sift it. Go ahead.
Thus was there very great gladness among the people, for that the reproach of the heathen was put away.
That's right. When the righteous rejoice, when the righteous rules, everybody's going to rejoice. Right. When this temple's constructed, when Yahweh Shai comes back and rules, everybody's going to rejoice. The whole world is going to rejoice. Go ahead.
Moreover, Judas and his brethren with the whole congregation of Israel ordained.
Salaki, I'm sorry. It's the spirit that Judah was the leader in this thing too. It's the spirit, he was the leader, and he was the one that ordained this to be built. Ultimately, we know the Heavenly Father did it, but it's spiritual that he allowed Judah out of his brothers to do it. And we know Yahweh Shai comes from the line of Judah. Not that Judah, but it's just spiritual. Salaki, go ahead.
And the whole congregation of Israel ordained that the days of the dedication of the altar should be kept in their season from year to year by the space of 8 days from the 5 and 20th day of the month.
And what do we do in this 8-day period? We give to one another. We don't expect nothing back. We give, whether it be a physical gift or whether you gotta explain something to a brother, help edify a brother, be around a brother. We're all giving one another something. So this is a special 8 days that we're in, because when you go into the history of it, it was a lot of BS that was happening. You know, it's a lot of BS that's happening right now, but through that trial and tribulation, we were able to come together and construct the temple.
Right.
And give to one another and be brotherly.
Right. They watched a lot of their friends and family members get put to death, man.
That's right.
You know, and everything that they knew was destroyed. The heathen came in and were ruling with pride and arrogance at that time, man.
That's right.
So there wasn't a lot to be happy about. You know?
And we're getting sold into slavery.
That's
right. Maccabees.
Right.
Yeah.
3. Was it the 3rd chapter?
Yeah, it was the 3rd chapter.
Yeah, the women and the children were getting sold into slavery. You know, so there was a lot of wickedness going out, man.
Same thing as right now. Our families, they're pretty much, for example, sold into slavery with their mindset. They're believing on white Jesus Christ, eating all kind of abominable foods.
That's right.
So our families are just out there bad as we're being blessed by Yahweh.
Time, brother, losing.
Okay.
Families losing.
Okay. From the 5 and 20th day of the month, Caslu, and with mirth and gladness. And that's not talking about Christmas.
That's right. Yeah, y'all, it's not talking about Christmas.
Yeah.
That ain't what it's talking about.
At that time also they builded up the Mount Sion with high walls and strong towers round about, lest the Gentiles should come and tread it down, as they had done before.
And we know what that strong tower is right now that we're building, and that's the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. You know, that's that strong tower, and we're building in that. You know, that's part of us while we're building. You know, we have the name in us. You know, with us being these stones and with us continuing to build this house, we have the name of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai to help us and also to be our defense.
That's right.
Right, go ahead.
And they set there a garrison to keep it, and fortified Bethshura to preserve it, that the people might have a defense against Idumea.
Come on now, man.
Come on, man.
Who we fighting against right now? Who's our main number one enemy? Idumea. If that ain't spiritual, I don't know what. If this
deep.
holy day,
Brother.
this is a beautiful holy day, because this shows us who our power is and who He's for. This shows us what we're fighting for.
Who your enemy is.
And shows who our enemy is, exactly. And they hide this from us, but we know who we fighting for. Really, I got Salaki. I want to end it off on this scripture right here.
Okay.
You know, I want to end it off on this one. But we know who's with us and we know who ain't with us. The Most High is with us, and He's given us the power to fight against our enemy, who are the Edomites, Idumea. All right, Salakia.
He did.
Easy.
God. This is 2 Samuel chapter 7. I'm going to go to verse 10. Moreover, I will appoint a place for my people, Salakia, for my people Israel, and will plant them, that they may dwell in a place of their own, and move no more. Neither shall the children of wickedness afflict them anymore as before time. Like we just read there, is Edom. We know that to be the children of wickedness. All right? Verse 11. And that since the time that I commanded judges to be over my people Israel, and have caused thee to rest from all thine enemies, also the Lord telleth thee that He will make thee an house. And when the days be fulfilled, and thou shalt sleep with thy fathers, I will set up thy seed after thee, which shall proceed out of thy bowels, and I will establish His kingdom. And we know it's talking about Solomon, but through the Spirit it's talking about Yahweh Shai, because we know Solomon was Yahweh Shai in the Spirit. All right? And he shall build an house for my name, and I will establish the throne of His kingdom forever. That's the house of David. That's what's being rebuilt. Them stones and physical stones back then, Yahweh Shai said those stones are going to be, and shall not one stone go unturned. So we know it's not talking about those physical stones. But through the Spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, we know it's talking about those eternal stones, which is men.
Right.
That's why they have to be precious.
That's right.
A precious stone will stand a long time. You know? Does anybody have any more? Come. Well, Lord willing, it was edifying. Ashar Chanak Akiyam. First and foremost, want to give all praise to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well. And peace and salutation to you elect Akiyam across the four corners of this earth, kicking His word of sincerity and truth. Man up, Shalom.
Shalom.